Good afternoon, everyone. And we're going to give it a couple more minutes to make sure that we've got everybody on the line that has signed up. We got a great group today, so we'll give it a minute before we get started because we've got a pretty dynamic presentation. Great. So let's go ahead and get started because we like to stay on time because we know all of our ladies are busy. So good afternoon and welcome to the Smart Women Savvy Money 2010 webinar series. 30 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes to teach, and 10 to talk. Our first for 2018. We've actually been doing this for 4 years now, I think. Our Smart Women webinars are hosted on the second Thursday of every month, with the exception of December, because we know you're busy for the holidays. And they're always held from 1 to 1:30 Pacific time. All of our calls are recorded, and the replay links are sent out the same day that our talks are hosted. So even if you can't be live on the call, as long as you register, you'll get the replay link. The Smart Women Savvy Money Club was formed in 2014 with the goal of sharing relevant and timely information about financial and lifestyle issues. We want our community of women to be encouraged to learn, explore, and feel confident about making sound financial decisions. Our vision is that every woman design the lifestyle they desire and deserve. To that end, we've got a great lineup of speakers that I'm going to share with you for 2018, which you can find on our website. So if you have not been to our website, please visit us. Next month, we've got an amazing and very timely conversation with, let me get to that page, with a professional certified coach who will have a conversation about gender communication with the title of Hello, Can You Hear Me? We all know that men and women communicate differently, but she's going to give us some tips and tricks about how to actually process that and how to make sure that our male counterparts are hearing us, and more importantly, that they're hearing us as women. So you don't want to miss that. Deborah Coren is an amazing speaker, so we're really looking forward to her talk on that. And please come to the website because she does have a link that will take you to her website as well, where you can learn more about her and the title of the talk. The next talk, which will be in March, and I love this one, is Does Your Trustee Have the Right Stuff? Hopefully most of you already have your estate plan in place, and we tend to pick people that we know, family members or friends. But what they're going to talk about is sometimes those might not be the best selection. So we want to have a conversation about, since it is a fiduciary responsibility, you want to have the right individuals who will be able to manage your stuff. And whether you are incapacitated, incompetent, or if you've passed away, you want to make sure that your trustee or trustees do have the right stuff. So you definitely want to be on there for that one. And then for those of you who happen to be on the East Coast, I am going to be honored by Investment News, which is an industry publication. They pick 20 women a year, and there will be an awards luncheon on March the 13th at the Pierre Hotel. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll have to make sure that our stylist here is going to help me looking so great, so I'm going to be styling and smiling too. So with that, I do want to go over a few housekeeping tips. And all of you have a chat box, so if you do have some questions, just go ahead and post them in the box. We do like to try to stay on time so that we'd be finished up in a half an hour. So if anyone wants to stay in a little bit longer, they can. They can reach out to us directly, and we can continue to have that conversation. So with that said, let me move on to introducing you to my stylist as well. She's been amazing. We've been working together, I don't know, Jana, I want to say probably 4 years. Is that right?
4 years we've been together for 4 years in a fashionable relationship.
Yeah, in a fashionable relationship. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. That is amazing. So she has, when we first met, actually it was at my high school career day, and one of the things that she obviously was talking about was to be a stylist. What does that look like? What's required to be there? And one of the things that was really amazing that she shared was, what was it that you said, Jana? I said, yeah, you can be fashionable, but you have to like people.
Yeah, well, you have to like people. Yeah, if you want to become a stylist or any type of profession that works with individuals, you have to actually like people.
Right.
Yeah, I like people more than I like fashion, I guess is the best way to say that.
Right. Okay. Well, good. Good. Excellent. So we should be seeing your screen shortly, I think.
Yes, I'm working out these technological difficulties. Bear with us for 1 second. There we go.
All right. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what Jana does. She's often called the wardrobe whisperer, and I have to say that she absolutely is. She has her own wardrobe consulting company, which is in her name, obviously, and it's Jana Coke Style. We'll show you her site here in a few minutes. But she matches your wardrobe goals to your lifestyle. And I have to tell you, when I first started working with her, because I was very boring, I always wore black or blue or gray, and she came in and cleaned out my closet and actually took my clothes and donated it to a nonprofit called Close the Deal. And those are clothes that are given to individuals who are going back into the workforce and need clothes. So it was great. It was great for everybody. It was a win-win for everybody. So, but she's amazing because she does pick up your style. She figures out pushing out the edge a little bit so that you're still within your style but not going down the same path all the time. So with that said, I'm going to, let me just mention a couple of other things because this was amazing. In 2017, she was nominated for a Fashion Award by the LA Business Journal in the Influencer category. So with that, she's going to influence us today. So go ahead, Jana.
Thank you, Renee. And I have to say, Renee has never been boring. She has the most fabulous jewelry collection. And if you watch her on CNBC, you know that she's developing a very nice arsenal of eyewear. So she's anything but boring within her fashion because she's anything but boring in her personality. And your style personality is truly a reflection of who you are. It's your most authentic self, and when we dress in alignment with our most authentic self, we will be perceived in a very genuine way. So I'm going to start off by sharing a little bit about different body types. Body types are usually in alignment with what your self personality is. We dress according to how we feel and the image that we want to project. And for all intents and purposes, there's 4 basic body types that clothing manufacturers have assigned to us women. There are most definitely a plethora of different body types that run the gamut for women. But for all intents and purposes, there's four basic ones that clothing manufacturers have decided women are because that's how they design their clothing. The first one is rectangle. This girl, she is straight up and down. She's what we would call a waif or a boyish type figure, and we can all hate her because she does not gain any weight at all. Like, she's extremely slim, no matter how much she eats. She has like a high metabolism. And the celebrity that really emphasizes this body type is Cameron Diaz. And the style personalities that correspond with that are classic, confident, feminine. And as we go through the presentation, you'll see that emblem on the left of your screen so that you can get an idea if your body type is in alignment with your style personality. The next one is an inverted triangle. In this woman, she has full bust and long legs and tends to be short-waisted. Like, she can get away with a mini skirt and look fantastic without, any type of judgment. Like, she can wear it. It has no problems with showing off her long legs. She is categorized again by a full bust, a short waist, and her measurements tend to be she's usually fuller on top and smaller on the bottom. She really doesn't have too much of a hip or a full bottom. The next one is an hourglass, which is highly categorized by actress Christina Hendricks of Mad Men fame. A full bust, full bottom, but a very well-defined waist. And this is like the classic Marilyn Monroe, that classic figure that a lot of the clothing manufacturers really designed for with the corsetting in the 1950s. Whereas if we go back to a little bit more of a vintage fashion feel, the rectangle was designed in mind for the flapper of the 1920s. The triangle, which tends to be a majority of women, tends to be a smaller bust, narrower shoulders, but a very full bottom. So she's the opposite of the inverted triangle. So she tends to wear a different size on top than she does on the bottom. Can have a very well-defined waist as well. When she gains weight, she tends to gain weight in her thighs, but very few triangles actually gain weight within their stomach. So hopefully you identify your particular body type within this presentation. So let's get right to the actual style personality. So as you can see, every body type tends to be a classic. And a classic is categorized by the woman who wants to feel timeless and sophisticated when she gets dressed. She likes tailored silhouettes, understated details, and delicate accessories. Renee is most definitely a classic style personality. Like she mentioned, that she was really drawn to like blacks and grays and navy blues. They tend to be very traditional in their approach to fashion, can have the exact same suit or same pants that they've had in their closet for 20 plus years and it still looks very current. They tend not to be very trend conscious. Some of the brands that really align with this style personality are Theory, Black Halo, Hugo Boss, and El Tahari. Hopefully you all probably see some of yourself or a coworker or a colleague or someone close in your life to the style personality. This tends to be the most common, particularly for professional women. When they're getting dressed professionally, one thing to look for is to incorporate patterns, more men-inspired patterns like the Glen Plaid, sharp tailoring such as this Theory jacket, a very classic tote bag by Prada, Ferragamo's or timeless shoes, and jewel tones. Jewel tones tend to look very well on this style personality to really correspond with their temperament to have an air of sophistication. On the weekends, they tend to also struggle with weekend wear because they concentrate highly on developing their professional wardrobe. That the weekend wear can kind of be a little bit more of a struggle. Classic jeans, a straight leg jean, not too boot cut, not too skinny, not the jeggings that were really popular a couple of seasons ago. Look fantastic on them with a very clean sandal, off the shoulder blouse, and a scarf. A classic style personality looks fantastic with scarves. And then for their special occasion wear, great two-piece pantsuit and a very strong boot cut leg, classic sandal and a jewel tone color, a beautiful column gown in a jewel tone color, and bright accessories. Again, the classic style personality wants to look for classic silhouettes but in very strong jewel tone colors to really exemplify their style personality and get away from some of the standard blacks, whites, and grays. So comfort. Comfort is kind of the opposite of the classic style personality because this lady, she's all about feeling relaxed and casual, and if she could, she would like live in flip-flops and tennis shoes and jeans and a sweatshirt all day. Like when she gets home from work, the first thing she does is kick off her shoes, take off her clothes, and put on her comfortable sweats. She's all about feeling comfortable and relaxed when she gets dressed. That is her main purpose in choosing her clothing. Sporty details look really fantastic on her. She tends to be a woman who has an attitude for sports. Maybe she played them in college or high school, or she's really active in her life, maybe cycles or runs. So she has that sensibility within her clothing. And if you notice, the inverted triangle as well as the square look fantastic within this style personality. Some of the brands that really exemplify their style are Vince, J. Crew, James Pierce, and Rag & Bone. And some key pieces that are really great to add into the style personality are striped shirts, a knit sweater, flat boots, crossbody. They can also be called preppy. Right? Again, that sporty influence and that driven for comfort when they're getting dressed professionally. Again, all types of A-line silhouettes, more of a relaxed look is really great for them, but in very strong traditional color. So they're the opposite of the classic who wants to look for jewel tone colors in sharp tailoring. They want to look for traditional colors with a relaxed fit to give them that professional edge, and in classic pieces such as this chunky menswear inspired loafer, the crop pant with a really nice clean white tennis shoe if you have more of a casual work environment. But that sweater, that full knit sweater, can easily be paired with a pencil skirt or an A-line skirt, because actually comfort hates pencil skirts because they feel very constricted. For the weekend, they live for the weekend. Like, they have no problem with getting dressed for the weekend, but their balance is to create, again, more of a structured look within comfortable pieces, such as a rolled-up jean, if it's more of the summer, or a boyfriend jean, if it's more of the winter or the fall, cooler months for California. A classic jumper and some stripes looks great on them. And then for jewelry, they tend to neglect jewelry as well. It's kind of a second thought for them. But anything that's rope-based, that's not very fine, something that can really correspond with more of their active lifestyle. They tend to have a struggle with getting dressed for special occasions, but as long as they allow the silhouette of more of an A-line silhouette, things that flow away from their body, that don't necessarily fit close to their body, it's perfect for them in luxe fabrications, such as this loafer. With a very nice brooch detailing, slip-on loafer. Again, that beaded bracelet is great for them, has a little bit of bling in it, but it still kind of gives that earthy element. The white t-shirt is perfect to wear as long as it's in a luxe fabric and paired with a little bit more elevated accessories. This is great for the comfort style personality. One other way to know that you are a comfort is you hate heels. Like you hate them. You kick them off. I'm going to say something really kind of controversial. I believe that Oprah is a comfort style personality, because if you've ever read any of her commentary or watched her after her show when she had her show, she'll kick off her shoes. Like, she hated heels, but she wore them to be on air, which is great because she sat down. But imagine if you are a professional working woman and you're like running all around doing what you need to do. It's the death of you. So again, a professional woman does not necessarily have to force herself into heels if she's a comfort style personality. So sexy. Sexy style personalities are all about feeling seductive and trendy. They are the women who subscribe to all the fashion magazines. They are not necessarily brand loyal when it comes to shopping. They will pick out from high end to the fast fashion, from luxury to thrift stores, as long as it really exemplifies how they want to feel, which is bold. This is a woman who walks into a room and makes a statement. And yet and still, you notice her before you notice her clothes. She really does dress very well. She does, dressing in curve-hugging pieces very well when sexy is done right. Obviously, an hourglass figure really is great for this style personality, as well as the triangle is great for the style personality. Her key pieces are statement jewelry, bold color. She likes fur and stilettos and skins, you know, animal prints and snake skins and leopard and anything that really says, hello, I have arrived. Her brand aesthetic are BCBG, Diane von Furstenberg, Alice and Olivia, and Trina Turk. Just for a little bit of a test, Renee's secondary personality is sexy as well.
Ooh, I can be sexy and classic?
Of course you can. Yeah. I mean, this is a really great example. Obviously, the rat blouse, you would want to put a camisole underneath that for a professional work environment. But that pattern mixing, that's something that the sexy style personality is not afraid of. But imagine if that same blouse were in, say, a solid color. Then that would make it more classic. So it's really about the sexy style personality is driven by print and fit simultaneously, while the classic style personality is driven by solids, usually, and silhouette. That makes any sense. A little bit of an opposite, but sometimes kind of simultaneous. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. So they're the style personality who will wear like big jewelry and, you know, the bangles and the earrings and the necklace, and it works very well on them. It's not clashing. You're not noticing the jewelry when they're talking. It's appropriately placed. For the weekend. So again, this is a great time when they're going to brunch or they're going to a museum or they're going to a concert where they can really show off a little bit more skin. Selecting luxe fabrics such as the leather leggings or a leather biker jacket over a beautiful silk blouse. This style personality is also driven by luxe fabrications, by how their clothing feels. So cashmere, leather, silks, you know, satin silk. These are all very glamorous fabrications that feel fantastic on the skin. For a special occasion, again, this is where they really get to show it off again. Very high shoes, the glitz, the glamour, the big earrings, the flashy purse. And then when they tend to put on makeup, you know, I'm not a makeup artist, but I tend to notice that sexy style personalities can tend to be a little bit of a beauty junkie as well. This is the woman who goes and gets the newest lipstick and gets the newest foundation, and she's not afraid to experiment within her style personality. The struggle for her is to creating balance, is to create a balance in the sense of incorporating a little bit of classic with her style personality while still maintaining her sexy elegance, if you will, with being mindful of hem lengths of her skirts and you know, the dips and blouses, because they can get away with it. But again, it's also how we want to be perceived, particularly in a professional environment. Feminine. So the feminine style personality is all about feeling graceful and elegant, and she likes subtle accessories. This is the lady who always wears pearls, and they always look very just elegant on her. You know, she can wear pearls and it won't make her look dated. If it's just a single strand of pearls with a beautiful white crisp blouse and an A-line skirt and ballet flats, and she, no matter what her age is, it will most definitely work well for her. Some of her key pieces are embellishment and texture. She likes bows and ruffles, dresses and skirts, peep-toe heels. Her brand aesthetic, Ted Baker, Joie, Millie, and Ella Moss. So her balance is to create a little bit of sophistication while still maintaining that girlish kind of ingenue flavor to her personal style. For the professional environment, she likes more of a hidden heel, or if she does wear a heel, it's going to be a sling back, an A-line skirt. That tends to be her silhouette of skirting. She loves cardigans, particularly cardigans with some type of detailing. A bib necklace that has tons of jewels by, you know, Kate Spade. To the weekend, she's not one to wear a lot of jeans. She likes dresses and skirts, you know, a crisp shirt dress with a ruffle detailing paired with ballet flats, perfect for her. If she's going to wear denim, it's going to be denim that has a little bit more of an interesting twist, or she's going to wear it with heels as shown in the picture on the left. For special occasions, she's all about the lace and tulle. It is her idea, life dream to live out her ballet fantasies, to become the Misty Copeland or the Isabella Boylston of, American Ballet Theater in her special occasion wear. She also tends to be driven by a lot of vintage influences, such as Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly, and her style inspiration. Are there any questions so far? Is everyone identifying who they are? So this brings us to the conclusion. So I would love for you all to give me feedback and tell me if you identify yourself, or you see yourself in a multitude of different style personalities, or you see yourself in only one and you can't understand how anyone else would dress in that particular way. That's all great. But one of the things that I would love to offer you all is a 30-minute phone consultation where we can discuss your personal style, where we can get an understanding of what are your current struggles within your closet. Do you continuously wear the same items over and over? Do you have a hard time shopping, or do you just completely hate shopping? And we'll create a strategy for you that works for you within our consultation.
Great. Thank you, Jana. That's fabulous. Yeah, and you have some great upcoming events. So if you want to, everyone hopefully can see this on their screens. There's one this weekend, which one of my favorite places, South Coast Plaza, because it's such a drive, but when you get there, you end up spending several hours because it's worth the drive. But if you want to just take a couple minutes and talk about what your upcoming events are.
Most definitely. So just like Renee mentioned, this Saturday I'm hosting a VIP shopping experience at South Coast Plaza, and it's in partnership with the entire shopping mall, and they have a private suite. It's called the Access Room, and it's usually utilized by appointment only, and so I have that entire space reserved for a select number of women who want help with their personal style. Anything that we discuss, that I discussed with you all during the presentation, we can most definitely exemplify during your personal styling consultation. So what it is I'm pre-picking items for you from all the different stores. I'm curating them all and bringing them into a fitting room. So all you have to do is show up and drink champagne and try on clothing. That's all you have to do, because I've already done all the legwork for you. Prior to doing our phone consultation, you fill out a style profile beforehand, and you meet me at South Coast Plaza in the private suite. I'll have champagne in hand for you, and you try on clothing. Renee, she's personally shopped with me at Nordstrom, not at South Coast Plaza, because this is a new experience. So you can kind of share with them how it works. You just sit there, and I go run around and pick out all the clothing and bring shoes and whatever you're particularly looking for. So it's
absolutely.
If you've never shopped in that manner, it'll change the way that you shop. You won't shop the same once you shop with a personal shopper. Really will.
For sure. Absolutely.
So the next event, if you like this webinar, I also host webinars usually on the first Wednesday of the month and at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this one is building a capsule wardrobe. There's been a lot of buzz about that in fashion magazines and just within the fashion atmosphere of how to create signature pieces, because we do tend to overspend or overshop within our closet, and we only wear about 20% of that. So how would you create a signature look with pieces that you actually really love? So I'll be discussing that. Then if you are not able to attend this Saturday's event, I'm hosting another VIP shopping experience at the L.K. Bennett store in the Beverly Center. They're shutting down the store for us for 3 hours from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and we'll just shop in the store. And if you're familiar with L.K. Bennett, they are a UK-based brand. Kate Middleton loves their clothing, very classic. Similar in silhouette to like maybe a El Sahari, but a little bit better fabrications. They have a full line of accessories, including shoes, jewelry, great store. And then I have something for the gentleman later on that month, right after Valentine's Day. I'm partnering with a gentleman who does bespoke suiting. His name is Trent Clark of Upper Echelon. And we're going to have an open house to introduce my male clientele to this new way of shopping with custom suits. So it is a men's only event, but ladies, if you bring your boyfriend, your husband, your cousin, your best friend, whoever, as long as you bring a man, you can come in. So those are the events that I have coming up for the first quarter of this year.
Absolutely. Oh, great. Thank you, Jana. And she's absolutely right. You know, once you start shopping with her, you won't shop the same way anymore. And so it's really great because also what I have found happens is that you really do stay focused. Like she said, when she went through my closet, I found out that it was only a few things that I was wearing consistently, and so this eliminated that whole process. So with that said, I think it's a great idea to work with someone who is a professional and will give you the opportunity to really be focused, understand what your style is, and not waste your time or money. So with that, I do want to, if there are any questions, we will be sending out the replay link of today's talk, as I mentioned. And if there also will be a link to her upcoming events, or if any of you are interested, you will be able to connect with her on that as well. And so, again, you can come to her website of janacokestyle.com and find out more about what she's doing. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. As I said, we'd like to try to stay on time. And so with that, we look forward to hopefully having you on for next month's talk about Hello, Can You Hear Me? So I'm looking forward to that. So thanks, Jana. Have a great day, everyone. Prosperous month, and we'll see you then.